What if I told you the smartest guys in the room aren't the loudest? They're the ones keeping their mouths shut. Intelligence isn't about flexing what you know, it's about guarding what matters. Your fears, your plans, your screw-ups, your wins, and that hard-earned peace you've got inside. Today we're hitting you with 5 things an intelligent man never shares with anyone. And trust me, this'll flip how you see strength. Stick around, smash that subscribe button if you're new here, and let's dive in, because mastering this could change everything. First of all, let's talk about your fears, those nagging doubts that creep in at 3 a.m. You know the ones. Will I lose my job? Am I enough for my family? For example, picture Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, sitting alone at night, journaling his worries. But then, he never shouted at them from the rooftops. Why? Because an intelligent man knows that sharing your deepest fears hands others a map to your vulnerabilities. Now imagine this. You're at the bar with your buddies and out of nowhere, you blurt out, "I'm terrified I'll never get ahead." What's more, you've just given them, or anyone listening, ammunition. Not because they're bad people, but because humans are wired to judge, even unconsciously. The Stoics, like Seneca, taught us to face fear privately. You see, it's not about bottling it up. It's about wrestling it down on your own terms. I used to think venting my fears made them lighter. But the truth, it just made me feel exposed. I remember a time when I confided in a coworker about my anxieties over a promotion. I thought sharing my concerns would help, but instead it gave him an edge. Suddenly, my doubts became office gossip. The moment I stopped doing it, I started feeling more in control. I learned that some battles are meant to be fought in silence. For instance, think of fear like a wild dog. Share it, and suddenly everyone's poking it with a stick. Keep it to yourself, and you train it quietly until it obeys. Thus, an intelligent man doesn't broadcast his anxieties. He reflects, adjusts, and moves forward. So next time you're tempted to vent, ask yourself, does this really need an audience? Chances are, you'll find strength in silence. Next up, let's hit on your big plans. That dream business, that cross-country move, or that side hustle you've been sketching out. To begin with, it's exciting, right? You want to tell the world. But then, here's the kicker. The Stoics, like Epictetus, would say, hold off. Why? Because talking about your goals before they're real often kills them dead. Picture this. You're at a family cookout and you announce, "I'm starting a podcast next month." Everyone nods, some pat you on the back, and that's it. Suddenly, that dopamine hit tricks your brain into thinking you've already done it. As a result, your drive fades. For this reason, an intelligent man keeps his plans under wraps until they're solid. I used to think that sharing my big plans would keep me accountable. But in reality, it did the opposite. I once told everyone about a fitness challenge I was committing to. I got all the praise, all the validation, before even doing a single push-up. And guess what? That motivation faded fast because my brain thought I had already achieved something. Instead of proving it to myself, I had already spent the energy proving it to others. Moreover, sharing too soon invites opinions. Uncle Bob says, podcasts, those never make money. And very soon after, doubt creeps in. The Stoics knew external voices can drown out your inner compass. So instead, take a page from their book. Work in silence. Let results speak. Ask yourself, when was the last time oversharing a goal actually helped you? To sum up, keep your blueprints private and build something unstoppable. Moving on, let's tackle your past mistakes. Those moments you'd rather forget. Maybe you tanked a job, blew a relationship, or made a dumb call that cost you. For example, think of Seneca, who faced exile and still kept his dignity. He didn't spill every regret to Rome's gossip mill. Why not? Because an intelligent man knows the past is a teacher, not a billboard. Here's the thing, when you overshare your screw-ups, people don't always see growth. They see weakness. Out of nowhere, a casual, "Yeah, I messed up big time," turns into, "Oh, that's the guy who can't get it together." And then you're stuck defending yesterday instead of owning today. Stoicism teaches us to learn quietly and move on. I used to believe that talking about my mistakes openly would make them easier to handle. I thought if I got them out there, they'd lose their weight. But I learned the hard way that people remember your mistakes longer than you do. I once shared a bad business decision with a group of friends, expecting empathy. Instead, I noticed how it subtly changed the way they saw me. That moment taught me that while learning from the past is necessary, making it public isn't. For instance, imagine a boxer after a loss. Does he cry to the crowd about every punch he missed? No, he hits the gym, studies the tape, and comes back stronger. Similarly, you don't need to confess your stumbles to everyone. Ask yourself, who really benefits from hearing this? More often than not, it's no one. Therefore, keep your lessons close and let your actions rewrite the story. Now let's shift gears to your good deeds. Those times you helped a buddy move, donated quietly, or went out of your way for someone. To illustrate, picture Epictetus, who lived simply but impacted millions through his teachings. He didn't brag about it. Why? Because an intelligent man knows virtue doesn't need a megaphone. You see, Stoicism isn't about applause. It's about doing what's right because it's right. Imagine this. You tell everyone, "I gave $50 to that homeless guy last week." Suddenly it's less about the act and more about your ego. What's more, people might doubt your motives. For this reason, the Stoics prized humility. I used to think sharing my good deeds made them more meaningful, but I realized that wasn't true. I once volunteered at a local shelter and told a few friends about it, expecting them to be inspired. Instead, I noticed a few skeptical glances, like they were questioning why I even mentioned it. That moment made me reflect. Was I doing it for them or for the act itself? I decided from then on, my kindness would be its own reward. Think about it. When you broadcast kindness, it's like fishing for compliments, and then the purity fades. Instead, keep it to yourself and let the deed ripple out naturally. Ask yourself, am I doing this for them or for me? In conclusion, real strength lies in silent generosity because the reward is in the act, not the retelling. Finally, let's talk about your inner peace, that calm core you've worked hard to build. Maybe it's through meditation, a long walk, or just staring at the stars with a beer in hand. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." He didn't share that serenity with every soldier in camp. Why? Because an intelligent man guards his tranquility like gold. I used to think venting my feelings about peace and calmness would reinforce them. I once told a friend about how I'd finally found a sense of balance through mindfulness, expecting encouragement. Instead, he laughed and said, "We'll see how long that lasts." His doubt planted a seed in my mind, and before I knew it, I was questioning myself. That experience taught me that inner peace isn't something to be displayed. It's something to be protected. Here's why. When you overshare your peace, others can steal it. Out of nowhere, a friend vents their drama, or a coworker drags you into chaos. And very soon after, your calm's gone. The Stoics knew peace is fragile. It's yours to protect. Moreover, talking about it cheapens it. Imagine saying, "I'm so zen these days," only to face, "Oh, really? Prove it?" Suddenly, you're justifying something sacred. So instead, nurture it quietly. Ask yourself, why give away what keeps me steady? Ultimately, your peace is your power. Keep it close and let it fuel you. Intelligence isn't about knowing everything. It's about knowing what to keep to yourself. Your fears, plans, mistakes, good deeds, and inner peace are yours to manage, not to broadcast. The Stoics understood that silence is strength and self-mastery is the real power. If today's video gave you something to think about, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. See you in the next one.